Hi, I'm George the Weather Dad, and on today's Weather Classroom, we're going to be talking about the northern and southern lights. Here in the northern hemisphere, the best chance for us to see these northern lights occur during the winter months, and that's because there's very little daylight. But over the next couple of days, we have a very rare opportunity of seeing these northern lights, possibly as far south as Indianapolis, Indiana. But of course, the atmosphere has to cooperate, which means no clouds allowed. These lights are called auroras. If you're near the North Pole, they are called aurora borealis or northern lights. But if you're near the South Pole, they are called aurora australis or southern lights. So how do these lights form? It all starts with the sun. When the sun burps out a huge bubble of electrified gas or geometric storm that can travel through space at very high speeds. When this storm approaches us, some of the energy and particles can travel down the magnetic field lines at the north and south poles right down into our atmosphere. All right. That's a lot to digest. So what does this actually look like? Well, here's our sun, here's our solar flare or solar storm. These particles are racing towards us at a very high speed. Fortunately, we have this magnetic field or shield to protect us from these harmful rays. But some of these particles drift north, some of them drift south, and they sneak into our atmosphere at the north and south poles, creating the northern lights. I have never seen the northern lights, but I have been told it is absolutely magnificent, a beautiful Mother Nature's light show. Now this is a perspective from the ground up, and the light fills the sky. Another perspective is from the International Space Station. This is Russia and the North Pole. You can see this area where these gases interchange or mix up is not very wide, but it does produce a lot of color and a lot of light. But the color itself was generally only red, greens, and blues. And the red color generated by the oxygen atoms mixing with these gases. The greens and blues are the nitrogen atoms mixing with these gases. Sometimes these colors mix and we get yellows and pinks. Now, are we the only planet in the solar system that can experience northern and southern lights? The answer is no. All you need is an atmosphere and a magnetic field. Jupiter is one of those planets, and you can see here the interaction between these electrified gases and Jupiter's atmosphere producing a blue glow. Saturn is another planet. You can see the rings of Saturn there, and this is producing a nice little red glow there at the South Pole. Now, unfortunately, in order to see the northern and southern lights, you actually have to be at the right place at the right time. And unfortunately, most of us don't really have that opportunity. So what you can do is buy a photograph of the northern lights, sit back on your couch, and enjoy the light show. That's today's Weather Classroom. I'm George, the Weather Dad.